Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's realistic review in which we are taking a look at the G.55 serie 1. This plane has gotten a battle rating change and it went from 4.3 to 4.7. It also got an economy change and the repair cost now is 30k I believe, which is quite the repair cost. Now of course this has to be balanced towards the amount of times that you die. And there is something to say for that economy change. This plane in the hands of a pilot using the plane to its many strengths will not have to die a lot. It is a sturdy plane. It has a lot of good sides. Let's get into that for a little bit, as we will in the end see and discuss whether this plane is worth 4.7 battle rating. But the speed in this plane at sea level without web is 491 kilometers an hour and with web 515 kilometers an hour. At 4500 meters without web it's 463 kilometers an hour and with web it's 481 kilometers an hour. Go up to the 6500 meter range and you'll take her to 437 kilometers an hour without web and 451 kilometers an hour with web. Decent speed, nothing spectacular. It's between average and decent, I would say, and it's functional. Top speed in a dive in this plane is 799 kilometers an hour before it redlines and 865 kilometers an hour before it rips apart. That seems to be quite nice. The plane is quite sturdy, so it doesn't rip apart just like that. But of course it is not the effective dive speed. This plane has control stiffening in the roll rate especially, and that already starts at 550 kilometers an hour, becoming severe at 650, and definitely that is the top speed of the plane effectively in a dive. The elevator is still usable somewhere around 600 kilometers an hour. But you want to get out of your dive by that point and start to recover and reset. So short boom and zooms for the boom and zoom part of this plane. It is not a dedicated boom and zoomer due to the control stiffening, but it can function with short boom and zoom rolls as the performance of the plane in the vertical is quite nice. The stall speed is 165 kilometers an hour, which is in itself not spectacular. But the energy rate, the energy retention in the vertical is average to decent, and more to the decent side I would say. In the horizontal that energy retention is great and it really holds its energy there, which is quite nice. But it can do some vertical maneuvers as long as you don't use the roll rate too much in the vertical, then you're fine. Acceleration in the plane in a straight line is very good, and in a dive it is also very good. So that is definitely a great boon to an energy fighter, and this plane can function decently well in that role. Unfortunately I forgot that the MB162 has a cannon as back gunners, and that was a painful reacquaintance to that plane and a good memory to it. The match was quite nice up until that point, so yeah. Man, you make some mistakes, you win some, you lose some. That was a unfortunate end there as we go into the second match. But yeah, good performance in this plane for the acceleration, and the firepower in the plane is fantastic with 3 times 20mm MG 151 cannons, 250 rounds in the nose cannon and 200 rounds in the wing mounted guns. I used air belts and stealth in the different matches. You'll see stealth in the last match. It is supported by 2 times 12.7mm Brada machine guns with 300 rounds per gun. I also used air and stealth there. Both are very viable and you can use them to your preference. I used a 600 meter convergence, as you want a convergence lower than 800 in this plane, and but you still want enough range for your head-on capability to be effective. So 400 is too little for that in my opinion. 600 meters still gives you good capability in the head-on department, where this plane of course is also very good. You don't have to be afraid in a head-on, you just have to start shooting early and get out of the way in time. So yeah, like I said, fantastic firepower on the plane, excellent ammo load on it as well. You can definitely shoot down an ace before you run out of ammo. Climb rate in the plane is decent. You do have to side climb in this plane. It needs a little bit of that. There is a lot of planes that can out climb it. That was the case on 4.3 and it's also the case on 4.7. But if you take that little bit of time to side climb and you make sure that you have altitude once you get into the fight, then you can do a lot of damage to the enemy team. You gotta be patient in the initial phase of the match in the G.55 serie 1. But that's no problem. I mean, patience is a virtue. Turn time in the plane is also decent, with flaps good. The flaps do rip off though at 470 kilometers an hour, which is actually quite nice, and you won't be on that speed a lot. So yeah, you can use the flaps to your heart content and have good turn time in this plane. The roll rate is no more than average, nothing spectacular about that, but with a good turn time with the flaps you can definitely compete in the turn department. And you can have some nice dogfights in this plane, and you can actually surprise some dedicated turn fighters with this plane. Very nice. Jack of all trades this plane. Really nice how you can go from decent turn fighter to decent boom and zoomer to decent energy fighter. It's not excellent, but it's not bad in any of those departments as well. It does everything decently, and that makes this plane a very good plane in the hands of a veteran pilot. Maneuverability overall it called decent. Overheating in the plane is definitely present, and with extensive webbing you can definitely overheat the plane. It doesn't cool off in a second as well, so you've got to be aware of that in your dogfights, especially when you use a lot of web to keep your energy up. Durability is quite good. The plane can take a hit or two and seems quite sturdy to me. I've taken a lot of hits in this plane and it has taken me back home safely, so there is that. Very nice all in all, and I would say the 4.7 battle rating is justified, although it is considerably less in the performance compared to the G55 S, the premium version of this plane, and which has better climb rate and a little bit better performance, but it also misses the machine gun, so you do have more firepower in this plane. There is that. There's some benefit to that as well as downsides, as of course this plane is a little bit heavier because of that, but I like both versions. And the side climbing in the beginning of the match in this plane that you have to do more than in the G55 S is not a problem to me. I am a patient guy. I can do a little bit of side climbing and, you know, observe the match and choose the right moment to get into the fray. In this match I tried to use the plane a little bit as a bruiser and going low. Now that can net you some nice results, but you can also run into trouble because of that, as you have to keep track of more opponents above you. That is not always beneficial. We only got a hit on that guy, but we did get the kill on that Sterling as we go back for that AD2. There is a few guys fighting one of my allies over there, but I'm locked into this AD2. Thought I could get him easily. The AD2 actually surprised me quite a bit with its maneuvering and the energy retention that it did have. And thus I thought I was looking around me quite decently here, but not enough apparently. I get shot down again, unfortunately. But we do get 4 kills in this match as well, and you get an idea of the possibilities in this plane. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. The 4.7 battle rating on this plane is not a problem for it. There is a difference still though to the G55 S, which seems a little better in my eyes, but if they're both on 4.7, that's quite alright with me. Maybe the S version can be on 5.0, but well, it's alright. This plane is sitting in the right place and can definitely still perform at this battle rating, The 30k repair cost that it currently has is also not a problem. Again, for me, if you use this plane as you're supposed to use this plane, you will get a lot of profit out of this plane without a problem. And 30k, you don't die that often in this plane. And of course that is different for whatever point you're at in your development as a pilot, but I think it's good that I look at the performance of the plane and the maximum potential of this plane, which is very good. Yeah, also fair in my eyes. Not so nice when you're spading it though, but once it's spaded, it is a very good plane, very efficient and very lethal. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.